is in the studio with us this morning. This is incredible. Captain Gary Walton, right? Walton. 32 years?
Almost 32.
Almost 32 years on the Ludington Fire Department. And Gary, welcome to the studio, and thanks for coming in today.
Good morning.
Absolutely. We part of this segment that we've been airing all week has been on national fire prevention. And in the next few minutes, I really want to dive into this from your perspective of how important this week is to you as a firefighter, to the fire department in general. I also want to kind of dive into your career and what drove you to be a firefighter. And, after nearly 32 years, what keeps you going? Is that fair? Can we do that for the next few minutes? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Let's start with the Fire Prevention Week. It's National Fire Prevention Week. And I would assume that there's some great moments that you take out of this week, and then there's I don't know if the right word is frustration, but I can tell you that when you go into a fire, Gary, and you know that somebody didn't change those batteries on that smoke detector, or didn't have that plan from a firefighter standpoint, you're like, oh, we've got to get that message out more, right?
Right. Yeah. It's really something we started years ago, and you can see the progression through the years that it's actually reduced the amount of fires that we go to, teaching the kids, hearing that the kids do go home, and tell the parents that this is what we need to learn and this is how we do it. Part of it's got to be done at home.
Yeah.
We teach them, give them the tools, but a lot of it's got to be done with the parents, and for them to bring it home and get the parents involved, that's what we're looking for.
And do you feel like it is successful to have those conversations with the kids? They do pass on the information to the parents, and the parents. Some parents will say, "Yes, let's do this." Is it still a struggle? Is it a struggle at all to get that relayed to the parents?
I got to believe there's still some struggle, yes, but hearing from other parents, years ago, one of the parents walked into one of the convenience stores, and our firefighter happened to be there, and she said, "This kid's driving me nuts with fire prevention stuff."
Okay.
So it's going home. I mean, we know it's going home, and we can see by the reduction of fires over the years that it's going home.
That's cool. And that's okay. I mean, to say, hey, the kid's driving you nuts, it's because, hey, if the more information that can get out, the better. You just brought up a good point, though. Have you, in your 32 years, truly seen that fires have gone down the decline, and what do you relay it to? What do you see that as the connection?
There's nothing actually recorded statistically.
Yeah.
But knowing how the fire started and knowing that it was something other than what a kid might do, let's say.
Yeah.
Teaching them not to play with matches and lighters and candles, and how to, be careful around the stuff. Yeah. And having people get out. So, from my perspective and talking with other guys on the department, we see a decline in the amount of fires.
That's a plus.
Oh, yeah, big time.
You have, and we talked to Chief Henderson just a few days ago, and he brought up that statistic that, you have about 900 plus calls a year, and nearly, if not more than half of them, are medical related. When you started 32 years ago, did you realize that most of your time or most of your calls would be medical related?
No, I actually joined to be a fireman, and the fire service is turning over, and has been for several years, being part of the medical side of the house too. When we did start doing medicals, because back in the day, it was the police that ran them. And then we took them over, and we were on a request-only basis.
Okay.
The last 12, maybe years, we're now on an automatic page that's when it really increased.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
and no, we didn't. We had an idea going into it, but I don't think anybody really knew how many we were going to get.
Yeah.
So,
if you're just joining us, we're talking with Captain Gary Walton of the Ludington Fire Department. Let's talk a little bit about you. As you know, we're talking about National Fire Prevention Week. Nearly 32 years. So wind back to the start of that. There's got to be a moment or part of your life or something that happened that you said, you know what? I want to be a firefighter. And maybe it went from growing up as a kid, but take us back. What was that transition like?
I mean, probably as a kid, I had a thought of it, but my best friend moved in next to him, and also another friend of his started talking about it. And like so many others, I know I seen Scott was in here earlier, and he said that a friend of his, which was myself, brought him into it. And I was kind of the same way. And once you get into it and see it, you go, yeah, I think this is something I want to do.
Yeah. Did you when you were a kid, like have the fire trucks and so? Okay. No, that's great. And again, if you're just joining us, we're talking about National Fire Prevention Week, and Captain Gary Walton is here. As a captain of the fire department, what does that mean? What is some of your roles and responsibilities?
On the fire scene, my biggest role is having a staging area and a rehab area. The staging area comes in very important to the point where whoever's in charge, whether it be the chief or assistant chief, sometimes myself or one of the lieutenants, has a place to draw from for resources, which is more personnel, more equipment, things of that nature. Basically be an assistant to them.
Okay, all right.
And help them out.
And how long have you been doing this as a
captain? Just a little over a year.
Okay, all right. And when they came to you and said, or did they come to you, or were you like, hey, I can fill this role?
No, they came to me.
All right. What was that conversation like?
A little surprising. I wasn't sure that was ever going to happen or anything, but pleasant surprise. I was happy to do it.
Absolutely. Here's a question. You know, we talk about the Ludington Fire Department pretty much fully staffed, but you have outlining areas and many fire departments that are still short-staffed there. What is your encouragement for some of the rural communities, for people to maybe step up and want to be a firefighter there? What's your perspective on that, if you don't mind?
I think one of the things that helped us out over the last few years get back up to staff and beyond is more training, more participation in the community. Some of the things that they're seeing that we're doing, I think, maybe excites more people. Okay. Some of the outlying rural areas have had the junior firefighting type things where they start them out as younger kids and see if they'll develop into it. I think those programs work. I've seen some of it work. Get out in your community and, fight for more people to join your department. It's a necessary thing.
Yeah, and what's also nice is that the fire departments, they work so good together, right? If you have a fire and you need assistance, you have multiple firefighters or fire areas that are gonna jump on that call and arrive.
Yeah, we have I believe 10 other stations in the county, and you can call any of them. I mean, we're probably not going to call out to car settlement. That's quite a ways. But yeah, you can call any of them. They're glad to come help. As far out as Custer and Fountain if you need to.
Over those nearly 32 years that you've been with the department, and if you're just joining us, we're talking with Gary Walton, Captain, Ludington Fire Department. There has to be one moment or one call or one experience that is just stands above all of the rest, that you're like, this is why I do it. This was that rewarding moment. Is there anything that you would share with us in regards to that?
Yeah, to pinpoint one would be a little hard. But over the years, yeah, there's a lot of reward to it. I mean, helping people out is a majority reason why a lot of us do it. It's one of the major reasons, I would say. So just to pinpoint one, probably not. But having a lot of time where you've helped people, it's just, it's rewarding.
Have you you feel like you've had more success than failure over the years?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I would assume be able to see those people come out of that house or save them, and then worry about the structure. I mean, that's your top priority, isn't it?
Yeah, life safety, number one.
Yeah. What part of your job is also, and you mentioned this a couple of moments ago, the fun part of it, interacting with like students and schools and so on and so forth. Is that a highlight of your career, to be able to go to those events and such and interact with them? And why is it, I guess?
Just to see the kids' face, knowing that they're getting something out of it is very important. But to see all the kids' faces and know that they're enjoying, not so much the escape plan, which they need to learn, but to go play with the trucks and things of that nature. You know they're having a blast, so
that's cool.
It's really fun.
And you've been doing this long enough. Is there? I wonder if there is somebody that you were talking to in school that now is a firefighter. Have you had that interaction at all, or anybody that has come up and been like, "Hey, I remember when I was talking to you when you were in the gymnasium or cafeteria"?
No, I can't pinpoint it. Unfortunately, a lot of our youth move out of town, and
that's
whatnot.
True.
And,
well, maybe they're firefighters in other areas.
They might be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we appreciate all that you do, and I've asked the other firefighters that were in the studio just what your message is, especially this week as National Fire Prevention Week. What's your message to them to help you do your job, help perform your duties? What would you say to them this morning?
Probably the biggest thing we can't stress enough is know your fire escape plan. Go over it with your kids. Make sure they know what it is and where you're going to meet and those type of things. It's number one when it comes to life safety. Knowing some of the things that will help you prevent a fire would be another good thing. But knowing your escape plan and going over it with your children.
Yeah.
Or anybody that's in the house. You might be living with your father or mother or something.
Yeah, and you've seen that you must have seen it over the years, that when a family has that escape plan and then you see them all together, that's got to be rewarding for you.
It is. A lot of times by the time we get there, they're kind of jumbled up. But it's nice to know for us that we don't have that extra burden of finding them first and then putting out their fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, putting out the fire is important, but getting them out of there and knowing they're out of there is very important.
And you said it well, because having them have the responsibility of, getting out, there's nothing wrong with requesting that of them, is it?
No, not at all. They know their house better than we do. I tell the kids, have I been to your house? And do I know your house? No. I have to learn it in the dark.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's a different perspective.
You know your house better than I do.
Yeah.
Please come outside and meet us.
There you go. I like that message. Captain Gary Walton from the Ludington Fire Department, we appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you.
It is National Fire Prevention Week, and hopefully this message and this conversation with Captain Walton this morning will help us to have those conversations, have that escape plan, make sure that you're checking the smoke detectors, replacing those batteries twice a year at least, right? Or multiple times.
We say on the, you change your clock twice a year.
Okay. There you go. Do
Change
that.
your batteries same time.
Absolutely, and make sure that that you're ready to get out of the house. You're having those conversations. It could be over the dinner table. It can be in the living room before you start a movie, whatever. But make sure that you're having those conversations. So, Gary, we appreciate all that you do, and thank you for your service as well. It is 8:04 now on Hot Country Hits 99.9 and 1.